This is for the Middle East. This is an article from the New York Times. It's what's going on in Gaza City. The top leader of Hamas dared Israel on Monday to launch a ground invasion of Gaza and dismiss diplomatic efforts to broker a ceasefire in the six-day-old conflict as the Israeli military conducted a new wave of deadly airstrikes on the besieged Palestinian enclave, including a second hit on a 15-story building that houses media outlets. A volley of rockets fired from Gaza into southern Israel, including that it hit a vacant school. Speaking at the news conference in Cairo where the diplomatic efforts were underway, the Hamas leader Khalid Mashal suggested that Israeli infantry mobilization on the border with Gaza was a bluff on the part of Prime Minister of Israel. If you wanted to launch it, you would have done it, Mr. Mashal told reporters. He accused Israel of using the invasion threat as an attempt to dictate its own terms and force us into silence. Israel's prime minister met with the top ministries Monday evening, and Israeli media said they discussed the next steps in the Gaza conflict, including the possibility of a truce. Israeli officials declined to comment on these reports. The Hamas Health Ministry said Monday evening that a total of 107 people have been killed since Wednesday morning when the Israeli airstrikes began, following months of Palestinian rocket fire into Israel. A spokeswoman for the Israeli military said she believed that a majority of these militants, though it's difficult to know because Hamas's own fighting brigade and the other factional groups are secretive. 3 people have been killed so far in Israel, all civilians, in the rocket strike that hit an apartment house in the southern Israeli town of Kiryat Malachi on Thursday morning. The Israelis have said that at least 79 Israelis have been wounded and that the Gaza rockets have reached as far as Tel Aviv. The latest Gaza casualties: 22 people have been killed since midnight local time, including Palestinians killed in strikes by warplanes, a drone attack on 2 men on a motorcycle, and a father and 2 toddler sons in their bombed northern Gaza home. Another Israeli drone attack killed the driver of a taxi hired by the journalists and displaying press signs, although it was not clear which journalist had hired it, Palestinian officials said.